Let me tell you about the night I woke up. For weeks, I'd been listening to the sound of him swimming. Late night splashes in the pool, a rhythm in the water that seeped through my walls, through my bones. I pretended not to wait for it, but pretending is an art form when you've been alone as long as I had. He was younger, the kind of younger that should have felt like a canyon between us. But he moved through the world with a casual confidence that made those years feel less like a wall and more like a bridge. This particular night, the pool was a physical thing, a deep, magnetic ache. I stepped outside, the cool tile beneath my bare feet, the silk robe loose around my shoulders. The air was thick with jasmine, and beneath it, the sharp, clean scent of chlorine from the pool where he swam. I let the robe fall. The night air touched my skin for the first time in what felt like forever. And instead of shame, I felt liberation. My body had been hidden beneath layers of responsibility, of habit, of careful distance. But standing there, naked in the moonlight, I felt seen. I walked into the water, slow, letting it climb my legs, my thighs, my hips. It was cool, but my skin was electric. He was watching, floating upright in the deep end, his dark eyes catching the light. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. We began to circle each other, a silent, gravitational pull, a language that existed long before words. His fingers trailed along my arm, just a whisper of contact, but it sent shivers through me that had nothing to do with the water. My skin answered him. Every near touch, every glance was a conversation. We drifted closer. The heat from his body radiated through the cool water, a warmth that rose between us like steam. His mouth came close to mine, so close I could feel the warmth of his breath. But he didn't kiss me. Not yet. He traced the curve of my shoulder with his lips, a ghost of a touch, and my breath caught, sharp and wanting in my throat. The look on his face, it undid me completely. There was no cockiness, no possession, just focus, and a tenderness that looked like reverence. He looked at me like I was something sacred, and something wild, all at once. His hand found my waist underwater. The touch was electric, a promise that stretched across all the years between us and made them feel transformed. I reached for him, my palm flat against his chest, feeling the fierce, rapid drum of his heart, our skin slick and warm, his mouth hovering so close to mine. We stayed there, suspended, skin brushing skin, breath tangled. And something heavy and slow clicked open inside me, like a lock deep in my spine, turning after a lifetime of rust. I wasn't afraid. I hadn't felt this much in years. He moved behind me, his breath hot on the curve of my shoulder. His hands rose through the water, skimming my sides. Every touch felt like a discovery, like he was mapping forgotten territory. My back arched. I leaned into him, pressing my body against the solid warmth of his. It lit a fuse, something buried under years of routine and solitude and careful distance. His hands guided the water, circling my waist, trailing my ribs, a masterful, deliberate tease. I was unraveling, without being touched in any obvious place. He pulled us to the shallow end where I could stand, where the water came to my chest. His hands found my jaw, cradled my face. And then, he finally kissed me. It wasn't a beginning. It was a confirmation that everything up until now had been a prelude. The kiss deepened, grew warmer, heavier, tasting of surrender. My hand slid over his back, feeling the muscles flex and tighten under my fingers. He pulled me flush against him. Every inch of contact pulled a sound from me I didn't recognize, a raw, breathy sound of pure want. We legs wrapped around his waist, his hands under my thighs, holding me. His lips brushed the top of my chest, his tongue tracing patterns of my wet skin. I was bare, in every sense of the word. It was slow, it was measured, it was maddening. I didn't want it to stop. I wanted it slower and harder and deeper all at once. We didn't speak. We didn't need to. The languages we spoke were better. The soft moan in his throat, the catch in his breath, the trembling push of his thigh between mine. It built like a storm. Our bodies moved with a rhythm you don't learn. It's in you, waiting. Faster now, breath caught, heart hammering so hard it shook my ribs. And when it came, it wasn't a release. It was an unraveling. My body shook against his. He followed, tense and breathless, a tremor rolling through him. After, we didn't move. Limbs tangled, chests heaving as one. His hand rested on my hip, his thumb tracing slow, endless circles. I lay there, my head on his chest, listening to his heart slow beneath my cheek. And I knew something fundamental had shifted. This wasn't casual. This was the beginning of something that would require all of me. Morning came soft. He was still there, one arm draped over my waist, breathing deep and even. I watched him sleep, the way his hand flexed lightly, the faint smile on his lips. My fingers brushed his chest, not with need, but with a gratitude so deep it felt like a new kind of heartbeat. We made it to the kitchen. I wore nothing but his oversized t-shirt, my hair tangled, my lips bruised. He moved around my space as if it was already his, handing me coffee with a crooked smile that reached his eyes. We sat on the back deck. The sun climbed. The pool water glittered below, innocent now. His hand rested on my thigh, a simple touch that felt like the most natural thing in the world. I looked at him, and I smiled, fully, without hesitation.